Donald Trump has been on every podcast in the world. They did it with the Champions League or the World Cup of all podcasts, the Joe Rogan podcast. Did you get listening at all?
I haven't listened to it yet. It's for work tomorrow.
Oh yeah, 3 hours. Your day'll fly by. By.
I listened to him on Theo Vaughan's, and I actually thought it was very good because he talked about his brother who has suffered from different kinds of addictions and stuff. It was actually quite good. Like. But I love when he talks politics because he's the people's politician.
In what way? What do you mean?
As in, like, he doesn't use words that like politicians are good at, like, saying something without actually saying it.
Right. Okay. I know what you mean.
He listen around and go, "I'll cut taxes. This is how I'm going to do it."
Yeah.
You know, whereas like some other comedian, some other politician would be like, "We're going to do this, and this will like just completely use science to blind you." He's just like, "This is what I'm going to do."
Yeah. I love how he has now. So in all the podcasts he does now, he even acknowledges that he does. You ask him a question, she go, "Look, I think Joe Rogan was asking, like, what was day one in the White House like?" And he goes, "Joe, 10,000 people I had to employ before I had to do that." And he goes on a big fucking tangent. And then Joe will be like, and he's like, "Well, yeah, but you're kind of going off topic." And he goes, "I call this the weave. This is the weave. I go off and I talk about other things, but I come back. He goes, Sleepy Joe won't go on the weave. He'll go off and he'll not come back. And Kamala, she'll go away and she'll not come back. This is the weave, Joe. This is what I do." I'm like, you're so insane that you know what you're doing. Like, that's so crazy.
The fact that he's name calling, it's like, that is get him in. I don't care if he hates everybody, just get him in. See what happens.
So, right, I tell you where my algorithm's at this week. So I listened to one or two of the, like, sort of like, I listened to the Call Your Daddy podcast when they had Kamal on. I listened to Joe Rogan on Theo Vaughn and Trump on Theo Vaughn and Trump on Joe Rogan. And I was seeing a video today, popped up on YouTube. First video was like, why Trump will 99.9% win the American election on whatever date the thing is. And I'm going, oh, fuck's sake, I need to go watch our Kamala podcast here. My algorithm's cooked here. Like,
he's a Republican, isn't he?
Yeah. But I see American politics. This is what I don't understand about it. They make it so, like, personal. So, like, everyone's voting for Trump or Kamala to run the country, which in reality, neither of them do fuck all. It's all the people behind them and the people that back them that tell them what to do and blah, 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 blah. But so, for example, right, say Joe Biden's in charge of the Democrats, right, or Kamala Harris. Realistically, it doesn't really matter because there's loads of people doing it. But with Trump, they all go, if it's not Trump in charge of the Republican Party, we don't want to vote Republican, which is mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how they get to the stage where they think this one person is so influential. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's, like, as you said, like, he had employed 10,000 people.
Yeah.
So, like, every speech he makes is written and then redrafted about 1,000 times. Every public appearance is like the way up, like the pros, cons of it. It's mad. It's madness. A part of me would love to be like, I actually think it should, in a way, people go to, like, the World Cup or they go to the Euros or Olympics. I think I'd love to go to America for the week of the election. I think man, like, just seeing people lose their minds, like,
but they're so into it, and ultimately, like, it kind of really doesn't make a difference to anybody. I mean, I'm sure there's people that are really into it that are going to go, me and you are talking out our absolute holes here, but, like, realistically, it doesn't make that much of an impact, like, as much as you think.
I will say this: I work for a company that are American owned,
right?
And they would be quite. If Trump getting in would be very beneficial for me.
Trump.
Hey, Trump, if you'd a hand building the walls on, give me a shout.
See if this podcast was going to gain 100 plus patrons off the back of Trump getting elected, it's my vote. That's where my morals lie. Yeah. And here, do you know what? That's where everyone's morals should lie. Who's going to make me the most money? Because that's what Joe Rogan came out and said. He actually turned around and said, why did you have him on? And he goes, I thought the timing was great. Plus, also, I wanted to get that bag. I'm like, yes, finally, a proper answer. Like, that is exactly why you have someone like that on. It's done, in the first 10 hours, it's done 10 million views.
What in the first what? Sorry,
In the first 10 hours, it did 10 million views. So 1 million views an hour.
That is insane. That means like within the first 7 hours, if you're taking 1 million every hour, that means everybody in Ireland listened to that podcast within half a day.
That is, and you have to remember, YouTube doesn't like to push Donald Trump stuff.
No,
or so the algorithm's not feeding that.
Or Joe, because Joe's a bit of a
they don't really like the. Anyway, we're getting into dicey territory here, but it got me thinking, right? It got me thinking. More importantly, Northern Ireland politics, which is more closer to home. If we had people here guest appearances, because we seen this week Naomi Long appeared on the what do you call that podcast? Fucking Give My Head podcast.
Yes.
So, do you think here you might actually see more politicians going? Like, could you see a world in where like where like Jim Allister's on team with me?
John, hi. Do you want to know something? Shane Todd has that podcast game on lockdown. Patrice Evra.
That's madness.
So I genuinely wouldn't be shocked if Shane Todd had Donald Trump on his podcast.
That's
that would be insane. But I would love to see like imagine Jamie Bryson on like the Mudblood.
Yeah.
Paddy and William, or you have like, but even somebody like, imagine like Arlene Foster on the Bomb Squad pod.
Oh my god!
Just like McCann going, well, Arlene, do you listen to Tyler the Creator or what's?
Yeah. How's your shade's been looking this week?
I
have any of them on. If they want to come on, tell you what podcast, I'm on ahead. Trump, you're welcome.
Any politician that wants on here.
Because I actually seen a new side to like politicians this week, seeing that one with Naomi Long on, because she actually was on that Give My Head podcast and like was actually quite funny on it. Like borderline sort of like she won't like me making this comparison with children's business. It was kind of almost borderline Trumpy, as in like they were asking her about certain people in politics and she was just going like, they're asking her about Boris Johnson. She was, we didn't get on. Like he was a bit of a balloon, and you're going, oh, I didn't see you coming out of that. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of mental. Like proper like. But politicians are at their best when they're ripping into one of each other like that, like proper like slagging.
See, I think I would get behind politics a lot more if it was a lot more honest. Like see if they come out and said, look, the way things are at the minute, we're going to have to increase tax. We're going to have to increase the working week or whatever. But here, tell you what, you know what them ones in Sinn Féin are doing? They're going to make it worse. Fucking...
Yeah. It's kind of like, do you remember? And I'm going to sound like a major Trump fan here, which I'm not. But do you remember the one where it was like they asked him a question, being like, "You're using your position of power to avoid taxes or something like that," and he was up against Hillary at the time, and he goes, "Sure, Hillary made this law, and she uses this for all of her financial backers. So I just use the same tax breaks that they all them use." And you're going, all right, sweet, fair enough.
Exactly. He just says it like it is. You know what I mean?
You're being sound.
That man was ready to drink domestos to cure the coronavirus.
Yeah. That's our guy.
That's the guy. Like
that's it. Podcast. You need a man that's going to die for 3 points. You know what I mean? You need a man that's going to do anything for you.
Says every politician in the world was like, look, we don't understand it. We don't know what's going on. He's just like, look, kills coronavirus and back in his bottle.
Yeah. Have we tried drinking the bleach? We could drink the bleach. It's a great idea.
At least he was being proactive. He was like thinking outside the box, like.
Yeah. I like the politicians that are, because like we all fear the politicians that are massive, the Kim Jong Uns and the fucking Russian government and all these people. But I like who's just like, they're my best friends.
Yes.
And like this is interesting.
Even the fact that like he was over in like Saudi and he's good buddies with MBS Mohammed bin Salman,
exactly.
Who somebody said that the photograph I have for the Middle East, somebody actually goes, why do you the poster for my solo show, by the way, 20th of March. So he goes, why do you have your guy that does all the sports in Saudi Arabia as your poster? And I was like, nah, I don't see the resemblance, but
I don't think I know him.
Don't know who Mohammed. Oh, you need to watch that documentary, Sean. You would love Mohammed bin Salman. He is just watch it because he is like so money hungry.
Oh yes, yes.
that like, and I mean, like, he outbid someone for a painting just so he could have it.
Nice.
So the painting started off £1 million, and the bidding was going like 1 to 5 to 10, and he just went 700.